Welcome to Big Daddy Storytime. We're reading Walt Disney's Pixar Cars Storybook Collection. Do you see Mater there? He's going, there's my best buddy, Lightning McQueen, and right up above him is Francisco, who's next to Ramon. And Ramon, do you want to name the other ones? Tell the other cars' names? Yeah, man, of course I would. The one next to me is Sally, and my two buds down there that I just did a yellow and blue paint job on was Luigi and Guido. And Lightning just came in too, man, and so we're gonna learn a lot about Lightning and all the people. So you want to dive in? And of course he would. Let's do it. All right, Walt Disney's Pixar Cars 2 Mater's Secret Mission. There's Mater going, look, I'm gliding in and I have my rocket. And he has a parachute and he's gliding in. He's making sure he lands perfect because he's a spy, secret spy man. Yes, that's me, Mr. Mater. Everybody thought I was just a tow truck, but now they know I'm a spy and I'm able to help and make the world a better place, one car at a time. So he has a really good attitude about stuff. So let's learn about Mater. In the middle of the ocean, a British secret agent named Finn Missile climbed up the side of an oil rig. Whoa! He turned on his listening device and started to look around. Soon he saw a group of cars on a lower deck. So he's like, do 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 do, looking, including one named Grim and the other called Acer. Suddenly, a car appeared. Who could that be? Finn's computer identified the car as a criminal named who? Professor Z. No! Professor Z is probably the head bad guy out of all the bad guys. He and the other cars on the rig were up to no good. He's like, I know this. Now that Professor Z's here, this is not going to turn out very well. Finn took as many photos as he could, so he's going snap, 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 and he's like, I better get away so I could tell the secret agent who is named Mr. Mater. Rhymes with tow mater. Before Finn could leave the rig, the professor spotted him and he yelled out, get him now! Go, 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 go! He yelled. Grim, Acer, and the others chased Finn across the oil rig and onto a crane. So now he's chased onto a crane. They're like, you know how they get him all the way to almost the edge where they're about to be pushed off the edge. Finn dropped a bunch of oil drums on the other one. So there's like two big guys trying to push him off. And then down below, so he could stop the big bunch of guys, he dropped oil things, and it went clunk, 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 clunk. Drums on the other cars and climbed up the rig's helipad. But there was nowhere else to go, so he's climbing up. He's like, oh no, you know the helipads with the H and it's a circle? He's basically up there. He's like, what do I do? He has an opportunity. Surrender, which, that's not going to work out good. Or what? Jump off, that's right. Finn jumped overboard and pretended to sink. But secretly, he turned into a submarine and got to safety. He metamorphosed and he turned into a submarine. And he got away. Wonderful, the professor said. Now no one can stop us. So you can imagine he looks so they're all up on the pad now with the circle with the H on it, and they see bubbles coming up, and he's like, and he goes, now we've got the secret guy Finn out of our hair, so now we can complete whatever mission we want. So we're gonna see what mission that is. Back in Radiator Springs, Lightning McQueen was having dinner with Sally. That is so 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 cool. He was done racing for the season, and that's good. And glad to have lots of time off. That is so much fun. He can now spend time with his buds, Mater, and all the guy, Fillmore, Sarge, practice, get ready for next time, and maybe even he can open up and do some signing competition stuff and just fun, fun, fun. Mater was their waiter. While he was getting their drinks, Mater saw Sir Miles Alex Lenore on television. Alex Lenore said he had created a new fuel called All, All in O that could be used instead of gasoline. Whoa, that's interesting. What do you think about this? Sarge asked Fillmore. So they're basically watching the newscaster come on. And by the way, this is Cars TV, and we are, hosting a well-known scientist, Sir Miles, who is making something that will make gasoline maybe slightly obsolete, or it could be, off to the side a little bit. And he goes, and then Sarge is like, they probably turn off the TV and go. Sarge goes, so what do you think about that, Fillmore? Fillmore scoffed, once big oil, always big oil, man. So basically, he's saying that oil's gonna basically stay there. So let's read that one more time. Once big oil, always big oil, man, he said. A car named Francisco appeared on the screen. He was going to race in the Alexander's World Grand Prix. That is so cool. The TV host asked him why Lightning wasn't racing. He is afraid of Francisco, the race car replied. So he goes, I don't know, but all I know is I am Francisco, and Francisco could beat Lightning anywhere, anytime, anyhow. And let's see what Lightning does. He's wise. He's taking time off. He's gonna get powered up and everything working out, and then he'll race him, or maybe he'll not. We'll see. Soon Mater had called in to the show. Lightning could beat you anytime. Lightning, Lightning could beat you anytime, he said. When Francisco began to make fun of Mater, Lightning got on the phone and said he would enter the race. So basically, he goes, Lightning's little friend Mater is trying to fill in for Lightning when Lightning is scared. Oh, and Lightning goes on there. Nobody talks bad about Mater. He's such a nice car, tow truck. And so Lightning's like, I'll help you, Mater. Don't worry. We'll win this, and it'll be good, good, good. Lightning decided to take Mater and the rest of Radiator Springs Spring Gang to the Grand Prix. They would act as his crew. Before the first race in Tokyo, Alexander threw a huge party. Lightning started talking to some of the other race cars, but Mater didn't know what to do. He saw something that looked like very good ice cream and yummy stuff. The chef tried to tell him that it was spicy wasabi, but Mater took a big scoop anyways. When Mater tasted the wasabi, he screamed, "Ah, hot, 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 hot." You know how they do in the cartoons when like smoke comes out. He started driving all over around trying to find some water. Finally, he stopped. Everyone was looking at him and a pool of oil on the floor. Uh-oh, do you see that? Right there, right there, right there. Mater went to the restroom to clean himself up. I never leak oil, he told himself, confused, while Mater was in the stall on America's secret agent named Rod Takwau. Red Line came into the bathroom. Basically, there's an agent called Red Line came into the bathroom. He had a device with a tracker so that his British partner could find him. But two bad cars named Grem and Acer appeared and started to fight with Tarku. When Mater came out, Tarku stuck his tracker and some secret information to the tow truck just before he left. So he actually passed him off. He goes, "Well, I'm being captured. Here you go. Just continue the mission." And then they're pulling him away. Outside the bathroom, the British spy car named Holly Shifwell was waiting. She decided the tracker and thought Mater was a secret agent. So she said, Mater, you have it. You must be the new secret agent. So let's find out. Let's talk tomorrow at the race, she said to him. Oh, so look, there he is. And he's in the restroom. He comes out of the restroom. He sees two bad guys fighting a good guy, and the good guy passes Mater the papers and the thing so it would help him solve the mystery to save whoever needs to be saved. And that's always cool, cool, cool. The next day, Mater went to the racetrack with Lightning and the rest of his friends. He thought he had a date with Holly. The race car began. Mater talked to Lightning over radio and told him where to go. Lightning was winning. High above the racetrack, Professor Z had other plans. He had sabotaged the Allen O fuel that the racers were using. When Jen and Acer zapped a car with a special camera, it did something to the fuel that made the engine burst into flame. Holly was watching the race too. She spotted Mater and started talking to him over the radio, telling him how to find her. So go outside, she said. Go outside, Mater replied. Lightning thought Mater was talking to him over the radio. He moved to the outside of the track. Francisco sped past him and over the finish line. Mater tried to explain, but Lightning was furious. I don't need your help, Lightning said. Oh, that's so sad. But you know what? Sometimes communication is very important. And Lightning listened to his friend, and he'll forgive Mater for what happened. And it wasn't Mater's fault. There was a secret detective on the other line. There's Francisco going, "Me, Francisco, beat everybody. No one stands before Francisco the race car." So let's see what happens on the next page. Mater was sad that he let his best friend down. He decided to fly back to Radiator Springs, but Finn was at the airport waiting for him. The secret agent introduced himself. Finn McMichel. British intelligence, he said. Tow Mater? Mater replied. Average intelligence. Finn noticed that Grim and Acer were chasing him. He fend them off while Mater towed Finn towards a plane. Mater didn't even realize they were being chased. Finn and Holly still thought Mater was a spy and that he was acting silly, so no one would know. So basically, see him firing missiles out and going. He's stopping the bad guy. Mater does his tow hook and hooks the guy and pulls him and goes, "Stop messing around. We got to fly back to Radiator Springs." Holly took the tracker and device off Mater and dropped it into the plane's computer. That's cool. Drop. A photo popped up. Takaru's and the American agent had taken it, but Holly and Finn thought Mater had. "What is it?" Finn asked him. Mater hadn't taken the picture, but he knew a bad engine. He knew a bad engine when he saw one. He told Finn and Holly that it was one of the worst gas going engines ever made, and it had special bolts, but he had no idea whose engine it was. Do you see how it's a gas engine thing there? He's like, "What is it? What is it?" Because they think Mater's the one who actually did the taking of the pictures. So we're gonna find out what happens. Mater's gonna save the day, and of course, Lightning and his best friend are gonna always be friends. There we go. The next race in the World Grand Prix was in Italy. So the Radiator Springs gang stayed with Luigi's uncle Tapulanan. Lightning missed Mater and wished he hadn't gotten angry. Uncle Tapulanan told him it was important to stand by friends. Lightning thought about that. Excuse me. Meanwhile, Mater and the spies were on their way to Italy as well. That is so cool. Two, Holly gave Mater a disguise. She also gave him a voice activated defense system. So basically, if he wants, like, he goes, I need protection, so a thing comes out, like maybe a guy. I need a counter, thrust. Who knows what'll happen? This is gonna be fun. I can't wait to see what happens with his defensive system. The plan was for Mater to sneak into a meeting to find out what was going on with the race. So that's Dr. Z, Professor Z. Uh-oh. Here we go. With his disguise, Mater fit right in with all the other cars at the meeting. Professor Z came in. He introduced his boss, who told the cars that once Alenina was proven dangerous, cars would go back to gas. That would help all of them gain power and become rich. Ha 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 ha. Meanwhile, at the race, Lightning crossed the finish line just before there was a big pileup. Sir Alexander made an announcement. The cars would not use Alan Anna in the final round, but Lightning decided to use the special fuel anyways because Fillmore had told him it was safe. I don't stand by. I don't stand by a friend. Lightning said this. This is very important. I didn't stand by a friend recently, so basically he's saying that he's going to stand by Fillmore and make sure that Fillmore is right because he didn't stand by Mater when he got upset with Mater. So he's like, I'm going to do. Fillmore knows what he's talking about. Excuse me. He said to the press, I'm not making the same mistake again. So he said to the guy, I'm going to use the special gas no matter what. So let's see what happens here. Excuse me. Oh, the professor was watching. His boss had told him that lightning was a problem he didn't need to take care of. Mater left to warn Lightning, but the professor had the other act catch him. Before Mater knew it, he had been knocked out. Bam! When Mater woke, he was in London, sitting at London site of the final race. He was also trapped inside a clock called Big Benelli. Finn, and Holly were all being held prisoner by Gren and Acer. The two bad cars had their special camera. They knew Lightning was running on Alaninon, and they were waiting to zap him. Zap. When they tried, luckily nothing happened. Mater was so relieved. That is so, so nice. Time for the backup plan, Gran said. We planted a bomb in Lightning's pit. The two had bad cars left. The two bad cars left, laughing. Ha 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 ha! We didn't get him that way. We're gonna get him another way. Uh, he goes, darn it! Oh, he was like, damn it! That's a horrible, horrible thing. He is so sad. That's what Mater's like. Why can't I need to get to my best friend. He's gonna get hurt. No. He used his spy gear to escape. He was almost to Lightning's pit when Finn and Holly broke free and realized that Mater was carrying the bomb. Oh no! He's carrying it right in his tow truck hook thing. No, 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 no. Let it go. Mater Finn yelled through the radar. The bomb is on you. They put it there when you were knocked out. Mater was close to Lightning when he realized that he drove the other way. So he started to drive the other way. Lightning chased him and grabbed his tow hook. He wanted to apologize. Mater activated his defense system and he rocketed and propelled the two friends away so the professor couldn't set off the bomb. Holly and Finn captured Professor Z and brought him to Mater, but the professor couldn't do anything. Only his mystery boss could turn off the bomb. Guido tried to take the bomb off Mater, but none of his wrenches fit the bolts. Uh-oh. I get it, Mater cried. He and Lightning used rocket launchers and parachutes and went to Alexander, who was with the Queen. The timer on Mater's bomb was counting down. Just as it was about to go off, Alexander called out, "Deactivate! Deactivate! Deactivate!" The timer stopped. So Mater was flying right into where the basically Alexander, the guy who hosted all this stuff, who'd have thought he was the bad guy? Wow, that's an interesting turn of events, isn't it? Mater explained that Alexander had made a puddle of oil at the party in Tokyo. Old British engines leaked oil, and Takoi's photo had a show on an old British engine with a Whiteworth bolts. So he had an old he looked at that and saw, just like the one that had attached the bomb to Mater. It turned out that Alexander secretly owned oil rigs and wanted cars to buy gasoline so he could get rich. So he made sure no one trusted the alternate fuel. But why not? But why didn't I explode? Lightning asked. I was running on Alactina too. Everyone looked at Fillmore. If you're saying I switched out the Alano for my homemade fuel, you're wrong. He pointed to Sarge. It was him. Once big oil, always big oil, Sarge said. Man, soon the gang was back in Radiator Springs. The final race was to be held there. Mater was thrilled to be back home with his best friend. That is so so cool. So do you see Mater there, and there's Francisco and all the cool stuff. They have jets there. You see that? Perfect, perfect, perfect. So this is what we're gonna also read too. Here, zooming around the track with Lightning McQueen. Join Luigi and the other cars of Radiator Springs as they throw a surprise party for Guido. Follow Mater and Lightning around the world as they meet new cars and a retelling of Cars 2. Cool, cool, cool. The action-packed uh, volume features 18 stories filled with racing experiments or stuff and friendships and a lot of laughter. So this one is really really cool. This is a fun story to read, and so let's see what we're gonna learn about now. What we learned is important. We could take away from this that yes, we always sometimes don't finish first, we don't finish last. As long as we try, we're winners. When we have our friends, we're winners too. And remember to always push to be the best that you can be, and that's the coolest thing. Always remember to like, favorite, subscribe, and come back to Big Daddy Storytime for more videos. And Big Daddy Storytime loves you, my friends. And remember to have fun in the journey. Be blessed, my friends. Bye bye.